welcome back to my shop today. Now today I'm going to be finishing a bowl that I roughed out 3 months ago. It's a maple bowl, and I'm going to turn it thin and pierce it. Now this bowl is dedicated to an artist. It's the fourth in a series. It's a Bowie bowl. It's going to be named Wild as the Wind, and you'll understand why probably the closer I get to being finished, and I'll explain to you when I'm finished. It's going to be a two-part video, mainly because it's a long process. So this is part one, finishing the bowl and starting the piercing process. So stick around and feel free to share and comment. I appreciate that. Okay, so to refinish this bowl I need to repair the tenon. Now that it's finished warping, so I will bring this as close to center as I believe it should be. That'll work. Okay, this is really showing you how out of round this piece of wood is now since it's been drying. So I'm just going to finish off the outside and then start on the inside. Okay, so this maple bowl, I've finished the outside to 320 grit for now, and I've applied some oil, and there's no tear out in it, so it's nice. I do have a tenon on the back that I'll end up removing. Now I'm going to turn the inside, and I want to get this really thin, because what I've decided to do with this bowl is to do a piercing. Now I've seen one that I'm going to try to replicate somewhat, where basically the bowl is in half and there's a tree coming out of the top half. So that's my plan. If all goes to plan, we'll see. So I'm going to turn the inside real thin and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm back at this bowl. I've got a pretty consistent thickness of about 3/16 of an inch. Now the tenon on the back still has to be removed, and I still have to sand the inside. So I'm hoping for approximately an inch, and I hope it's consistent. I've tried to make it as consistent as I can. So piercing, obviously for piercing you want a thin wall, so piercing is minimal, and then obviously there's going to be sanding after you've pierced it as well. So I'm going to get this thing sanded, and then I'll come back to you when I remove the tenon, and then we're going to pierce this bowl. Okay, so I have this sanded down to 400 grit, and it's approximately 1/8 thick throughout the whole bowl. What I need to do is reverse chuck this to remove the tenon, and then finish the bottom, and then I'm ready for marking it up to be pierced. Now I've not done this before, so I just posted a question on the Woodchuckers Facebook page asking for advice. So before I start this, I'm going to go check that out and see who's responded, because they're a good group of guys. There's over 4,000 members, and I can almost guarantee there'll be a dozen or more replies to that. So if you are not a member of Woodchuckers on Facebook and you are interested in wood turning, I advise you go over there and check out their site. It's a great group of guys. So I have this material that they put in the bottom of drawers, which is slip resistant. I put that inside my bowl against my waste block. I just hope I don't go through the middle of my bowl with that. Okay. I think I'm going to use my square tip carbide cutter to slowly remove this tenon. Okay, so I have drawn the picture on the bowl. You know, you can't really see what it is yet, but that's okay. What I have is a Dremel-like tool with a wand, and I've got a drill bit in it right now. So I have this, which I think actually might be a good piece to try. I'm going to start with the drill and then go from there. So I've got this locked into the chuck with a jam chuck, and I'm just going to start drilling. Wish me luck. Okay, so I got a piece of the bowl out. You really do see your inconsistencies when you cut through the side of the bowl. It's a 1/4 of an inch there. So I'm not as thin as I thought I was. I could have gone a lot thinner and it would make the job a lot easier. But it is what it is, and I've started, so I may as well continue on. Okay, so the few issues I've had with this bowl is it is definitely a lot thicker than I originally thought it was. I thought I had a more consistent thickness of 1/8, but it's more like 1/4 of an inch in fact. But I think actually that's going to help this bowl. If it was too thin, it would be very flimsy. As it is, it's pretty delicate. So I've got to be careful while I'm piercing the remainder of this bowl, not to lean on it because it will break. And also when sanding I have to be very careful, but it's going to be a lot of sanding, that's for sure. So this is, like I said before, this is going to be a two-part video, and the second part I will have the entire bowl pierced, and maybe I'll show some of the sanding but not all of it. It's kind of boring to watch me sanding, but it's going to be a little disc sander on my Dremel like tool to round off all these edges, and a lot of hand sanding, and it's going to be very tedious and time consuming, but I hope that the end result is good, and I just need to be patient with it. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate that. And feel free to comment or ask questions, or give me your opinions. I'd like to hear from you guys. So thanks a lot and take care. Bye now.